They say history is bound to repeat itself. I repeat, they say history is bound to repeat itself. When you look at it very well, look at the three regions: the northern region, the southeast region, and the western region. I don't know how you want to put it, but I see it as northern region. Whether we have north central, I will bring everything together. The northern region, the southeast region, I'm lumping the south and the southeast together. Then the western region. The way the colonial masters met us practicing our system of governance is the same way we are still running it. History is bound to repeat itself. That's why I'm afraid that we should not have another Biafra war. I'm afraid we should not have it, because history is always very, very stubborn and wants to repeat itself at every point in time if we don't do the needful and what we need to do. By now, I thought that we'll be advanced. Our societies will be advanced. With democracy, I thought that all those kind of systems that's outdated will have outlived it, but yet we are practicing it by hook or by crook. Look at the system of governance in the Southeast. The Southeast, they are not answerable to anybody. No OES member at all. No OES member. The only thing that brings the Southeast together is the mention of Biafra. And this has happened in time memorial. Look at Ojukwu. Look at when Ojukwu came and said Biafra. Everybody aligned with him. Yes, Biafra is what will bring people together. But the system of governance, the age-grade system, the Republican style of governance is what is prevalent in the Southeast. Despite the fact that we have APC governors, 2 APC governors. Despite the fact that we play politics of a Fulani style of politics whereby some people are recruited to rule over a people and they are answerable to those kind of persons. That's why you have resistance in the Southeast. That's why you have insecurity in the Southeast, because the Southeast, they are not wired to live the kind of life the Northerners and the Southwesterners are living. So till now, history is still repeating itself. The system of governance that we are practicing in the Southeast is the age grade and the Republican style of governance. Everybody has a voice. Nobody is looking at anybody like no one person will just come out and say this is where we will go and everybody will just follow suit, except for the mention of Biafra. That is the only thing that brings everybody together. But when you look at system of governance, my brother, that's why in the Southeast states you have different even the APGA itself. The APGA set up by Ojukwu, people had to look at some things and said, even though it's Ojukwu's party, we cannot take some things. We are not dogmatic in the Southeast. Other parties arose. Look at ZLDP in Abia State. Look at Labour Party in Abia State. And I told you, I made a prophecy the beginning of this year that Alex Otti is going to join the APC. So the Southeasterners are not dogmatic. They practice the Republican style of governance, while let's look at the Southwest. Somebody said that I should not get involved in politics in the Southwest, but I look at it as you are trying to, as a Nigerian and as somebody who pays taxes, I cannot speak about any part of Nigeria. Is that what you're telling me? No, I'm very sorry. I have to speak. There are some people that pay taxes in Lagos. There are some people that reside in Lagos. Shouldn't they be interested in the kind of governance, the political system in Lagos? Shouldn't they participate? We have Nigerians all over the world participating in other people's politics. In London, we have a Yoruba party. In the United States, we have many people. So that statement, I understand what you're saying. We know that Nigeria is polarized. Nigeria, we are not united. When people talk about other states, they talk about from sensationalism. They have an agenda. They don't come and talk about politics in a way whereby it pleases God and government. I understand what you are saying, but I have to talk about Lagos politics. Now, since the colonial masters left the Southwest, democracy, all the constitution, military system of government has not stopped the kind of governance the Southwesterners are practicing. Still semi-monarchical. Yes, the Southwesterners are aligned by an entity. They have an Oba They have traditional institutions which pilot some of the affairs. Yes, although there's some people that are blockheaded, that wants to be liberalized, those ones that are liberal, but yet the institution, the traditional institution of the Yoruba people are there. The Igbos don't have this central traditional system, no, of governance. You have the Obi of Onitsha. Some people don't even recognize the Obi of Onitsha. But you have the Oni of Ife, whereby all Yorubas recognize. They respect their traditional stool. That's why I'm always shouting when some Hausa guys some Fulani guys will just come and say that religion before tradition, religion before culture. No, it doesn't work in Yoruba land. Tradition everywhere, anywhere. Tradition before any other thing. Whether religion, whether whatever. Tradition before. So still the system that they are practicing. Look at what is happening with the Tinubu and Sanwo-Olu and Obasa saga. People are speculating that Gbajabiamila would be touted to be the next governor of Lagos State. But there's a central command. The traditional rulers are in support. The last Alaafin of Oyo supported. The Oni of Ife are in support. So there's a central support. Tinubu cannot do some of these things on his own in Lagos. No. There is a body they call GAC. They call them the Governing Council. They listen to that Governing Council. They consult widely. And Tinubu has become a lucky man to centralize the politics of Lagos around himself. He's a very, very lucky man. Just like Awolowo did. Yes, although there's Akintola, Akintola, although there's some parts of Southwest that does not want Tinubu styles of government, but yet the traditional system, the semi-monarchical system of governance is still being practiced in Yoruba land today. Then go far north, pure monarchical. Those ones, after being influenced by Fulani, after they don't smoke, you go finish. They'll come and tell you that one imam says, and that's what everybody will follow. The Sultan of Sokoto becomes the spiritual head and the leadership in the north. The imams, the clerics, are the ones that are rated above your culture and tradition in the north. Yes, this is what the colonial masters met, and still this is what we are practicing today. That is why I've said it. No matter how the colonial masters decided to join us together, bring us together and say we are one Nigeria, it does not work like that. It is not possible for us to come together with our different system of government and ideologies. It's not possible for us to be in one Nigeria. And again, we are blacks. We are blacks. We are black Africans. And the imported religion of the white man, the imported culture of the white man, we cannot practice it. We have our own culture that our forefathers has passed down to us. The white man brought his religion. They permeated the southeast with the religion. That's how they were able to weaken the age grade system in the southeast. There were rebellions here and there. Some Christians rose up in the southeast and in the south. Also, the Fulani brought Islam. So these are ancient cultures and civilization that they still brought into Nigeria. But yet, this has not brought us. This is further. The thoughts that bringing us together, introducing democracy after they did military system of government, they brought in democracy. They thought that bringing in democracy would further bring us together, and they say one big, the giant of Africa, unity in diversity, and all those language that they used to scam us. At the end of the day, nothing happens. So I'm not surprised anything that happens in the southeast, in the north, and in the southwest. It happened in the past. There was a time that Awolowo was the central command. Although he had rivals like Akintola, there was a time like that. There was a time that the Igbos were subjugated. Azikiwe gave a speech in Enugu, and he said that instead of us going for Biafra, he was referring to the people that were fighting for Biafra. Instead of us going for Biafra, we need to build a prosperous Igbo land in Nigeria. A regional prosperous Igbo land in Nigeria. That was what Nnamdi Azikiwe was fighting for. Ojukwu was fighting for different things. Come back to 2024, 2025. Somanekwa and Nnamdi Kanu are asking for, we want a separate country. The Ohaneze and the political governors are saying, let us still remain in Nigeria. And they were saying some things like, we can become better in Nigeria. Not that they really want to become better in Nigeria, but it's similar to what happened between Azikiwe and Ojukwu. And what I'm afraid is that there should not be any Biafra. There might be a resistance. There might be a resistance. Some people have said they are predicting a resistance because history is always bound to repeat itself. Now, reconstruction, rehabilitation, and whatever could not solve the issue. Some people are still saying that Aburi should have been the best thing that should have put us in good light. Aburi, the Aburi Accord. It is not whether it is reconstruction, rehabilitation, and reconciliation. No, the Aburi Accord should have given us a better restructuring than what we're having today. Yes, many people, scholars will say that Aguiyi Nnamdi Azikiwe aligned with the North and make sure that we didn't have restructuring, as it were. I understand what you're saying, but let me put it forth to you. Aguiyi and Nnamdi Azikiwe, they were representing their political interests. I've told you, their political interests. Remember that Nnamdi Azikiwe and Ojukwu disagreed. The people went with Ojukwu. So if you are looking at these politicians, the Igbo politicians then, most of them were selfish, arrogant. They were selfish and arrogant. They didn't really consult the people. They didn't get the approval of the people over what they are doing. In the military system of government, you don't attribute the action of any military officer because it is a military system. It is not civilian. If Aguiyi did what he did, he didn't do that. He didn't do that on behalf of the Igbo people. He did it on behalf of the powers that be, that they were aligning with. I agree with you. There was a time that the Southeast politicians aligned with the North. There was a time, but it didn't last for long. But that does not mean that me, as an Igbo man, somebody who was fostering his personal ambition, you now bring all this on me. No. The people, look at Ohanese today. Ohanese stands alone. The people are not in support of what Ohanese is doing. Now, this one that was appointed or selected, Ohanese president, we have two Ohanese president though. Okay, the same thing happening in Kano. Two Ohanese, one in Enugu, the other one in River State. I think so. One supported by IPOB, one supported by the governors, the Southeast governors. So all these things these people are doing. Now, the people, don't you know have you asked the people what they really want? The Igbo people, the generality of the people. We all know that most of these Igbo leaders don't have the backing of the people. But any of their actions, they'll say, Igbos. No. Actions of Nnamdi Azikiwe and Aguiyi, you don't put it on me because we never supported Nnamdi Azikiwe and Aguiyi. The people that are supporting them are hallelujah prayers. Those that are benefiting from them and their politics, those are the ones supporting them. When you look at the generality of Igbos, we don't support their action. So therefore, you don't accredit that to the Igbos. Same thing in the Southwest. What Tinubu is doing, majority of Yorubas would not support it. Do not support it. They might want to use back of leg and start doing as if they support it. If there's a real free and fair election, you know that majority of Yorubas do not support what the Tinubu and gang is doing in Lagos. You know. That's why people are surprised that an Obasa was kicked out. The one that was championing the Ronu movement was talking about Indianization. You go on social media, people were hailing him. This is our Messiah. This man, he knows what to do. Blah, blah, blah. Now he's been kicked out. Why? Mismanagement, corruption, whatever. Which is the trait of an average Southern politician. Only P2B have not seen that trait because his name is not in that EFC list. You can say all what you have to say, but his name is not in the EFC list. Obasan's name now is in EFC list. You hardly see any governor, any politician in the Southeast that is not having Southeast, Southwest, that is not having their names in EFCC. So they are playing politics. They are surprised that this man Ronu, that championed the whole thing, was removed by the powers that be. That's when you know that not everybody supports the Tinubu dynasty. Look how Ambode, those that work with Tinubu, he had the courage to challenge Tinubu. You would think that all these guys are loyal till their death. See, the day Tinubu leaves this world, that's when you know. That's when you know that Yoruba people, I speak to most of them. See, the support the APC might be getting might be because it is looking like a regional thing. Yes, maybe because of the Igbos, you see Yorubas are supporting an APC party that is in power. Because of the Igbos, because of other people, the Hausas and Fulani. But in the real sense of it, if you have a Yoruba nation, how many people support a Tinubu to take over Yoruba nation? That's when you know that. Somebody told me that Lagos politics is deep. That's when you know that the reason why they are supporting some of these guys is because of this regional or tribe mindset, not because they really want them or these people are their choice. So whatever happens in Nigeria today, I hope history, the worst part of history, does not repeat itself, because some men of God are seeing some vision and saying there might be a resistance. Okay, if you think Nnamdi Kanu is down, if you think Samanekpa is down, my brother, another person will rise. We have many people that will rise. They are just testing waters. You see, repeating. Somebody, Wazirike, Ojukwu rose, Wazirike rose, Nnamdi Kanu rose, Samanekpa rose. Even this Orabweze, the woman that took over from Samanekpa, if you listen to that woman, he hot past Samanekpa. Somebody told me that the woman, so I had to go and sit down and listen to this woman. The woman is eloquent and she talks with anger and whatever. So history is bound to repeat itself in Nigeria until something happens, until we all decide to come together and make sure that this system, that this bringing together of the colonial masters, while we are together, history will continue repeating itself. There will always be clashes and clashes upon clashes upon clashes. Look at the religious war happening in the southwest. The same thing happened very, very long time ago with the Fulani. Always the Fulani. Always the Fulani. The same thing happening. Now in Ghana now, they are sending Fulani away. Putting them in trucks and sending them away. And only God knows, this one, the truck is going now. The truck will divert enter Nigeria because the borders porous. At the end of the day, the people that are in immigration, most of them are northerners. That's why Tinubu is getting the support to decentralize and restructure all these agencies of government. I'm telling you, because if you have the northerners there, mostly the Fulanis as orgas there, they are the ones that will be giving go ahead to allow these people into the country. Look at Turji Bello in Zamfara State, killing scores of people in Zamfara State. In the country's sovereign, killing people, burning mosques and moving freely. And these northerners are there. These northerners are there. These politicians are there. They are not concerned because it will not be their children or them. They will not come close to them. It is the poor Christians and other people that are being killed that will be suffering the fate. Middle Belt, wives up. Hausa, wives up. Hausa, wives up. I've said it. You hardly see an Hausa becoming a bandit or a terrorist. You hardly. I'm not saying they are not. But you see Fulani, it is their recurrent decimal. Fulani. Some people will say not all Fulani. I say if you go see Fulani, we are speaking up now. How many of the Fulani people that are saying not all Fulani, how many of them are speaking up against the menace these guys are causing people in northern part of Nigeria? Say history is bound to repeat itself. What happened in Ilorin, the Yoruba people don't let it happen in Ondo State, because all this one we are saying online, I hope you are matching your online whatever with doings. You show workings. Show workings. Whatever you are saying online, show workings offline, because where the work is done is offline. These guys, I went home and I saw some of them rearing cows in the bushes. They are not disturbed. I hope the village people, they know the number, the population of them in that area. I know they know there's a restriction to where they can get to. There are places where they can get to. I know they know how to resolve clashes, because some of these are our Nigerian army now. Most of them might be sympathetic to some of the things that they are doing, whatever they are. That's why state police, very, very important. People are calling for state police under Tinubu. Hey, you should use opportunity and implement all these things. Use the opportunity. We are talking as Southerners. I've said it, no permanent friend, no permanent enemies, but permanent interest. Restructuring is the permanent interest of all the Southern region. With the Middle Belt and the houses. Only the Fulanis doesn't want restructuring. Only them. So, that is what we are saying. I fear that one history that I don't want it to repeat itself at all is the Nigerian Civil War. I don't want that history to repeat itself, because the same subjugation, the same maltreatment is what we are still experiencing till tomorrow. And some people are threatening. Some people are saying Biafra this year or nothing. You think that the Biafran story has died? I've told you before. See, be a student of history. Be a student of history. Look at the trends. You see that history is always repeating itself at every given opportunity.